Hello folks, Capital Reviews here. Today I want to be talking to you about the Godox TT685S flash, and this is for the Sony system. So this is just a simple box that comes in. I have my trusty A6000, which is what I usually use for my videos, but today I'm using a Canon DSLR just so I can show it to you, show you the flash with this camera. And before I go into the flash itself, I just want to quickly go over what is included. So these are, I think, extra. They came with the box but outside of it. So this is a little diffuser that you can put on it. I've used these before. They're alright. They do soften up the light a little bit, but nothing too exceptional. I think warranty card, manual. The manual is nice. It has English and a bunch of other languages. It's fairly readable and easy to understand. If you've never used a flash before and you've used a smartphone, understand this. Flash terminology and learning how to use a flash is probably 10 times harder than learning how to use a smartphone, just because they use symbols and counterintuitive UIs. I've used Canon and Yongnuo flashes, and I would put this flash about the same level, to be honest, maybe a little bit more cumbersome. They include this package. It has a SD card holder and some gel modifiers for the flash, which basically add color. I've never been a fan of these. I've never used them. I'm mainly doing family photography, portraits and things like that, so I don't know if I would ever use these, but if you wanted to do some creative cool things, you could use these and just put them on top of the flash. Okay, comes with a nice case. It's pretty thin, but it does the job. Nothing too fancy, but honestly the Yongnuo cases are the same. The Canon cases are a little bit better. Comes with this foot that you can put the flash on. Here's the flash itself. It also comes with this cover. Let me just make sure I'm in focus, to protect the pins. So that's a nice touch. I haven't seen that before, but anyhow, you can slide this in and voila. Now this flash does support radio and optical slave, but I believe you have to get different sort of transmitters and receivers for it, because it doesn't have a dumb optical slave like the one Yongnuos have, where I can use a camera flash to fire my Yongnuo flashes. That does work on the Canon systems, but with this flash, with the Sony system, it doesn't work. Okay, so in terms of ports, you have a micro USB port, which I believe is for firmware upgrades. You have a proprietary port where you can plug in receivers and transmitters. You have a port for cable trigger. In the front you have a port for a battery pack. Now it uses 4 AA's, and one of the things that I've noticed with some third-party flashes that this door can be pretty flimsy. I'm happy to report that it's actually sturdy and doesn't pop open or anything. I even dropped the flash and it didn't pop open, so that's good. You have your standard diffuser and a reflector built in. Again, anybody who's used a flash before, you know what this is for, and if you haven't, then I recommend you watch some YouTube videos on general photography. Okay, so buttons are pretty tactile. They do what they're supposed to do. I mean, I'm not a picky guy about buttons. With my flashes, they work and they're clicky, and that's all that matters to me, to be honest. So I use flashes mainly just for family portraits and things like that. Indoors, because of a APS-C sensor on the A6000, even though it's a great sensor, indoors it can be troubling. This does TTL really well. It does have high-speed sync, which I haven't tried yet on this specific system because I haven't had the opportunity to. but TTL does well. Now I think that this flash is probably better for the A7 series because it is a little bit comical to see the size difference. Like, it's bigger than my camera, obviously, but you know what, it's inexpensive and it works, and it increases the functionality of my camera more than anything else can for $100 and some bucks. So if you want to buy a faster flash, because I use the kit lens because that's what makes this camera great. It's tiny, it's pocketable almost. With the flash is obviously not pocketable anymore, but the flash will be used indoors at nighttime. That's it. But with a few, with $100+ I could not buy a lens that was faster in autofocus. Some people might choose to go with a manual lens to get their faster aperture, but I prefer flash. Okay, so I'm just gonna take it off. Everything is very well built. You know, clicks, movements, twists and turns. It's all very nice. Almost, actually not almost, definitely nicer than the Yongnuo YN600, which is their top series, more expensive. Obviously not as nice as proper Canon. I've never used a proper Sony flash, so I won't comment on it. Weight wise, it's pretty heavy after the 4 batteries. Now I do want to show you the menu a little bit. I'm just gonna try to zoom in and focus. Canon isn't really the best at allowing video mode changes. Okay, so you change your modes from here. So this is TTL on top of the camera, and you can change your zoom here. So right now it's on auto, and then I can set it manually, and you can hear the light moving. So let me see if I can capture it. That's the light zooming in and zooming out. Then you have, this is, so don't get confused with this because it has both modes, optical and radio. So this, when you have a symbol like this, it's for all things to do with optical, and then this symbol will be radio. Again, it's not built into the flash, you have to use external transmitters. So I recommend, if you want to do that, buy it with the external transmitter and receiver that is sold on Amazon as a package, because it will probably be cheaper that way. Okay, so I do want to talk about something. So when you do put it in TTL mode, you put it in automatic mode. With the A6000, with this lens, I haven't seen it zoom, and this lens does go to 50, so you would think that it would move, but I didn't see the value move, and I didn't hear it move. So that's one issue. I'll test it more. The other thing I noticed is that your flash compensation, so it doesn't display it on the camera. If I turn up the flash compensation on the camera, it won't change on the flash. If I turn it up on the flash, it won't change on the camera, even though the end picture will be affected. So if I put +2 here and I put -2 on the camera, it will cancel out. If I put +2 here and just leave it 0 at camera, it will be 2 stops brighter. It's just that the camera and the flash don't communicate in a way where each other tells each other. And that might be just, you know, Sony's proprietary firmware or whatnot. I don't remember if my Yongnuo does that on the Canon anyways. But those are the 2 quirks. Otherwise it works. I will throw in some photos where I compare no flash and on-camera flash, and then this flash, just to show you what it is, and I'll try to keep the ISO and shutter and aperture consistent. Thank you for watching this video. If it was helpful, please give me a thumbs up. Take care.